We're here with Emily Haines and Jimmy Shaw of Metric. Welcome to Denver. How are you?
So good. This is such a great spot.
Yeah. Thanks. We set it up just for you.
Appreciate it.
Make you feel comfortable. Probably life on the road. Getting used to that again?
Yeah, it's been amazing, but it's ridiculous.
Well, how long have you been off the road?
Like 3 years.
Oof.
Our last real tour, I mean, we played some stuff in, summer and fall of 2019, but not like tour. It was like, spring of 2019. So, yeah, like over 3 years.
And we couldn't get Josh and Jules across the border for over a year, which is just makes me want to burst into tears just when I hear myself say that. But we're all together now, and the concerts are so great. The crowds have been amazing, and we made it. But
we were over the moon for the first 2 weeks, and now we're like, oh yeah.
Now we're just like, oh yeah, right.
We can go home now.
It hurts. I forgot. It hurts.
Life on a tour bus. Yeah. And do you ever hit your head on the bunk or?
No, we have a pretty sweet bus. It's really dialed. It has nice hardwood floors. It's just the four of us and my dog. It's pretty homey. But it doesn't change the fact that you wake up in the morning, open the blinds, and you have no idea what you're going to see. Like some days it's a dumpster, Today it was, for whatever reason, 6 guys who work at the Fillmore all having a really loud conversation, drinking, hanging out, right at the door of the bus, which is all cool. I want people to be happy, but that's a bit of a heavy way to start the day.
Sure.
And like, okay, here I am. Good morning, gentlemen, Let me put my clothes on and get into the day. So there's an element of that for sure.
And this is a good way to warm up for your show.
Hell yeah.
To come here.
I love the Fillmore. It's such a great room. Yeah.
Well, it is one of the nicest venues we have, and glad that you're here to do that. The last time I saw you was the first time we met. Back in 2009, I believe. Help, I'm Alive just came out, and it was a smash. And few things have changed since then. The last time we got together, it was in a small pub, and now you're doing massive venues. So there's a lot of, I guess you could say, story to fill in between then and now. You had a cycle where, I would say a general cycle where you're doing records every 2 years. Then it kind of slowed down a little bit to every 3 years or so, and then you kind of took a break. What was the impetus for the break and then coming back together? And
when was the break?
Yeah, when was the break? I mean, I guess this last one took longer than usual, but that's mostly just because everyone for us on the industry side was like, wait. Don't put out a record in 2020. Don't put out a record in 2021. And we ended up just sort of going further and further and further in the last 2 years than we would normally while making records, because we had all this extra time, and just sort of like, okay, well, let's just go to the outer reaches of our imagination. Let's go to the end of the universe and find out what's there, and then bring it back.
And call it Formentera.
Yeah.
It's a great record.
Oh, thanks.
And we've been playing it here on Indie 102.3. Let's go back just a little bit, where you were both doing solo records for a while, but you worked with each other. Is that right?
I mean, geez, if you're going back to like 1802, yeah.
Well, I never made a solo record, but
well,
okay, in 1802 I did, but yes, I did help on more choir than Knives for you.
Yeah, I mean, the joke that's hilarious to me is like, even my solo records, I'm totally working with Jimmy. Like, there's no way, you know what I mean? It's just more about the material, because generally, lyrically with Metric, it's much more about bigger themes and bigger ideas that are, I like the idea that it's thought-provoking and it's less on the personal side. And then I feel like the stuff that I do with Soft Skeleton is more delving into those themes.
Yeah, and I mean, really the biggest difference is that in Metric, Emily will come in and be like, I want to do a song like this, and I'll go, how about like this? Whereas in Skeleton, she'll come in and say, I want to do a song.
I'm doing a song like
with
this.
a flamingo playing a flute solo, and I'm like, great, I'll find you a flamingo.
Yeah, and a flute.
And a flute.
And I'll write the flute solo.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And maybe a theremin. So some of your good friends were just here in town recently, like a week ago. Of course, I'm talking about Broken Social Scene.
Yeah.
And both of you part of that collective as we like to call it. I don't
Yeah.
know what you call it.
No, it's like that.
Maybe it's like a gang because as you become, when you were in the formation of that, is it like a gang where once you're in, you can't get out?
I think it's more like even if you're not in, you're in, and you also can't get out. Everyone can't get out. There's like a sort of an onion type, news source, joke
Spoof,
news source
yeah.
in Canada called The Hard Times. And they do these like little spoofs on social scene all the time. Like, 1 in 3 Canadians have been rumored to be members of Broken Social Scene. It's like, there are like extra tax cuts if you can claim that you've played on a social scene record, all sorts of stuff. So yeah, it's kind of like a national understanding, if you will.
Yeah, for us, it's more about the very beginning, as you were saying, and writing anthems, which is what we contributed the most, I think, to that. And then just, they're friends I've known since I was 15, some of them, and the friendship at this point is sort of bigger than the reality of those early times for us. But we'll always have anthems, and that's amazing to me.
Well, with both of you always on tour, probably at the same time, like now during this tour, do you ever, crisscross and happen to be in the same city at the same time? And
I don't
and
think
then
it's
work
ever
together?
happened when we're like actually both bands are on tour. But we've done tours with them, if
In
if
Europe,
the timing
or
makes
the
sense.
timing
and,
works, yeah.
Show up for a couple shows. I mean, one of the benefits of being one of the extraneous members is you can look at the tour schedule and go, great, I'll do Barcelona, London, New York, and LA. And Kevin's like, great, see you there.
Awesome. So there is a chance you might be making music together maybe in the future?
No.
No, that's it?
I don't know.
There's always a chance.
I love social scene, but it's not front and center for me. It was an amazing moment. Yeah,
But it is definitely part of your history.
for sure. Oh my God, deeply. Yeah.
I'm from New York City, and I know you spent a lot of time in New York. What some people may not know is the brush with fame before the fame. Is it true about your roommates at one time who also went on to bigger and better things?
Yeah, I mean, we lived in a really weird, interesting time in Williamsburg in the late 90s, early 2000s. And it was the beginning of a lot of bands. We had this loft where
Jimmy found this place. It was crazy.
it was a ridiculous place. But we lived there. Torque and Chris from Stars lived there. Jaleel from TV on the Radio lived there.
Wow.
Nick from Yeah Yeah Yeahs lived there.
Angus from Liars.
Angus from Liars lived there. And then across the street was a different loft with like all the DFA guys, like not 1979, but the pre-1979, the label DFA, like the LCD and Rapture, and like all those guys were like, this was all like in 2 city blocks. But it didn't feel like this crazy, like romantic time, when we were all in it. It was just sort of, everyone was fighting for like anything more than like a ham and cheese sandwich, And yeah, people started
the
getting
lean years.
Yeah, people started getting. It was like, whoa, they got more than a ham and cheese sandwich, and then it's like, whoa, they got more than a ham and cheese sandwich. And years later, it was like, hey guys, remember the ham and cheese sandwiches?
Another opportunity for crossing streams and meeting
Yeah.
each other on tour.
Yeah, there was an amazing one. I think it was 2000, somewhere between 12 and 17. I really don't remember, but we played Coachella. And the last 5 bands on the main stage at Coachella was Stars, Metric, Yeah Yeah Yeahs, Blur, Stone Roses.
Amazing.
But there's 3 bands, where like you started together. We're all in the same loft, with like 1 guitar and 1 amp just passing around
And one bathroom.
in 1 bathroom.
That sounds like the making
Paradise.
of a festival.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
You got your own metric festival.
That's right.
With all of your homies.
Totally.
Let's talk about the new record. Is this your 8th, 9th album at this point?
I think it's our 8th.
And a lot of the material for this, did it come through the pandemic? Was it developed out of necessity, depression? What would you say really inspired this record during this weird time that we're going through?
Yeah, I mean, we were very fixated on being the music at the other end of this time, that would kind of help. We were just trying to make sense of it and make ourselves useful, which is a big theme in our camp, is like, what's the value and purpose of this music? And the idea, and we're seeing that, I'm so pleased that like it has done that for people. Like when we go meet people at the meet and greet and people's experience, not just these last couple of years, but, you know, life is hard. Things get weird and you feel alone. And it's hard to find the words for what you're processing, you know, personally, but also the themes that are pretty intense for all of us right now. It's like not the most rosy moment in history. And people are suffering from a lot of anxiety. And I just, lyrically at least, was really committed to the idea that this would be, you know, someone can put this on. Maybe it's to help them with that. It could also help them like party or get laid or get married or have a great time with their best friend. Like it's not all necessarily, you know, therapeutics in that regard, in that one sense. But the idea that if you need to, you know, fulfill this thing or get that feeling, like Metric's got you with this record. So the concept of Formentera was the idea of, you know, really coming to terms with the lack of control that we have over so many things, and, you know, that we would create this sonic oasis for people. You just put on your headphones and close your eyes and kind of let go of a lot of that stress, and certainly the doom scrolling, you know, which for us, the reason that song is such a big part of the record is, you know, addressing that if you're someone like me who you really care what's happening in the world, you're trying to educate yourself, but all you feel is more and more powerless. And then like I got to a point where I can't function, you know, I'm just like so bummed, you know, and when you're lining up all the numbers under the names, that could be so many things, right? Which I won't start listing, but we all know the kind of information that we have access to now, but feels like where's the empowerment to actually affect any change? So that was the doom scroller part, is really, you know, realizing a lot of people have been doing that too. And that for me, it's just been a matter of being like, okay, I can be useful in one way, which is play with Metric. We're showing people an amazing party every night. They're having a great time, hopefully dealing with their emotions, dancing. And beyond that, I'm kind of like confounded by what I can do.
Well, the record certainly connected with a lot of people and lifted them up. So your mission,
I hope
is
so.
successful.
Man.
And I'm going to say thank you so much for joining us today and spending time
Thank you
here
for
in
having
Denver.
us. Right on.
Thank you.
We'll see you in another, hopefully not another 13 years.
Seriously.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thanks again. Metric.
We are Metric, and excited to play some songs for you today. We, you know, for those of you who are familiar with our music, you'll know our sound is pretty powerful, electronic and rock and dance, and a lot of genres that we incorporate. But one of the things we really enjoy doing is making dirt road versions of those same songs, and it's always really interesting to see how the identity of the song exists outside of that production. So you can picture yourself on a dirt road in a beautiful setting with this version of Dark Saturday. Somewhere in the south of France or the Caribbean Sea, she said, I don't need to make a living. Fake diamonds got nothing on me. I met her in the world below. She's a tourist of the world beneath. I said, everything I built from nothing. She said, I'm so rich, everything's free. So dark it ain't so dark. So dark it ain't so dark. Forever and never, a torch in search of a flame. To be good, get better. Well, I've been feeling this way forever and never. A night in search of a day, as anxious as ever. It's such a dark, dark, dark Saturday. What's your name and where you from? Well, I'm worth your weight in gold. And while we lie here in the sun, the whole wide world's about to explode. Now our bodies intertwine, and the truth is plain to see. I said everything I built from nothing. She said, don't you blame your problems on me. So dark it ain't so dark. So dark it ain't so dark. Forever and ever, a torch in search of a flame. To be good, get better, I'd change by staying the same. Forever and ever, a night in search of a day. As anxious as ever, it gets so dark, dark, dark. So shine a light my way, shine a light my way. I'm having such a dark, dark, dark Saturday. Shine a light my way. It's such a dark, 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 dark Saturday. Dark, 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 dark Saturday. Dark, 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 dark Saturday. I think we should continue with this dirt road atmosphere, showing you the multifaceted identities of these songs. The next song we want to do is from our new album. The album's called Formentera. And this song is called All Comes Crashing. And it's kind of like a dedication to whoever you would want beside you in the case of crisis or catastrophe, which I think a lot of us recently experienced in figuring out who that person or those people might be. And that, for a lot of us, it doesn't look perfect. It's not always the conventional relationship that are the most important people to you. It might be your band, for example. So this is a song you can visualize those people that you love and appreciate that it's fleeting, the time we have together. So this is called All Comes Crashing. Starting over won't be easy, broken, divided, split tomorrow from today. Knowing what you know just makes it harder to think straight. Starting over after it breaks. Starting over when the story's got an astounding twist. You better turn that page. When push it comes to shove, we do not fall out of love. We double down, we do not fade. For all I know, this might be my last night, if that's how it goes. There's no one I would rather be lying beside when it all comes crashing. When it all comes crashing. Starting over won't be easy. Damage be damned. Please say you love me just as I am. Starting over won't be misunderstand that pattern fear is forcing your hand. Knowing what you know just makes it harder to think straight. Starting over after it all breaks. When push it comes to shove, we do not fall out of love. We double down, we do not fade. For all I know, this might be my last night. If that's how it goes, there's no one I would rather be lying beside. If all we knew came crashing down tonight, I'd be with you. And there's no one I would rather be dying beside. When it all comes crashing down. When it all comes crashing down. For all I know, this might be my last night. If that's how it goes, there's no one I would rather be lying beside. If all we knew came crashing down tonight, I'd be with you. And there's no one I would rather be dying beside. When it all comes crashing, 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 when it all comes crashing. Thanks for having us in to play some music for you. We thought we'd leave it off with a song from Fantasies, which Willoughby knows well, from 2009, back when we met listening to Help I'm Alive days. Thanks again. This is called Twilight Galaxy. Did they tell you you should grow up when you wanted to dream? Did they warn you that a shape up if you want to succeed? I don't know about you. Who are they talking to? They're not talking to me. I'm higher than high, lower than deep. I'm doing it wrong, singing along. I'm higher than high, lower than deep. I'm doing it wrong, singing along. Did I ask you for attention when affection is what I need? Thinking sorrow was perfection, I would wallow till you told me there's no glitter in the gutter, there's no Twilight Galaxy. I'm higher than high, lower than deep. I'm doing it wrong, singing along. I'm higher than high, lower than deep. doing it wrong, singing along. I'm all right, come on, baby. I've seen all the demons that you've got. If you're not all right now, come on, baby. I'll pick you up and take you